Well, okay, so we are live. I'm a little late. I don't know if my signal is going to be good enough here. I hope so. We'll see. The lighting sucks. I had to do it over in a room that I wasn't planning on doing it in because Mr. Leaf Blower had to start up just as I was getting ready. I swear he follows me on YouTube and knows exactly when I'm going to record. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes to see if anybody comes on. And if not, I'm still going to share because I have my notes here that I have all ready to go. And hopefully we don't have any major leaf blower noise. I'm in my living room. I don't usually film in my living room. I will turn on or search for non-copyrighted music that I can play in the background in case if leaf blowers start. So let me do that. I don't have the best signal. Actually, maybe I shouldn't. I don't have the best signal, Wi-Fi signal in here, in my living room. It's not the strongest. So I hope that we don't get interrupted midstream or anything. We'll see. I'll do it on my phone. Maybe if my phone does it. So I have it set up and ready to go in case if I need it. So it looks like I'm a little too late. People aren't joining. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm going to try to put this up so it's not in the way of the camera. No, that's not going to work. Okay. I'm just going to put it right. Let me try it this way. There we go. Okay. All right. Hi and welcome, everyone. If you're catching me on the replay or if you're jumping in a little bit later, we'll see. I did a voting poll. My name is Mel from Mel's Divination, and I am the owner and the operator of this business, of this YouTube channel, and I am going to start doing more lives. So try to keep an eye out for that. I'm going to try to do it on Saturdays or Sundays. I will make announcements a few days before on the community tab. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm going to try to be more active on my Instagram as well, announcing that. Okay. If you're interested on catching me on a live so that I can interact with you guys. I will be putting out a voting poll to see what kind of lives you're looking for. I may even do some pick up card things, stuff like that coming up. For now, I'm going to stick to my regular schedule of posting new witchy, spiritual, tarot, astrology types of content every single Wednesday on my YouTube channel. And I now have a new feature that I'm doing on Fridays, which is called Flip Through Fridays, where I share any kind of oracle or tarot decks that I have, which you can look forward to. Besides that, if you like what I have to offer, please like, subscribe, share, anything like that helps the channel. Comment. It really does help. I also do book reviews and things like that. Right now, nothing is affiliated, nothing is sponsored. So everything that I do is non-paid for, non-biased, and it's all my personal opinion. I'm not like being paid to say anything about anything. So today I had done a poll earlier last week, I believe, or earlier in the week, to ask people what they wanted me to film on Wednesday. And it was a tie at the time. Now the boundaries one actually won. But at the time when I was getting ready to film on Wednesday, it was literally 50-50. And it was a tie between a book review, which I did and I posted. So check that out. That was the Good Spell book. And it literally is my favorite spell book. So check that out. It is up and posted already. And the other option was a boundaries video about surviving the holidays. So that's what we're here to do today. And the reason why I kind of wanted to do it live anyway was for people to interact and tell me what do they find challenging about the holidays and what do they need tips on. Nobody's here right now, which is fine. You can catch it on the replay and comment down below, and I will answer your comments as best as I can. I always check the comments out. And I do take constructive criticism as long as it's polite. I absolutely always will reply if it's something that I can answer and it is not attacking criticism. As long as it's kind, I do like feedback because I can grow from that. All right, going forward with our topic for the day. So it's boundaries. Now, this is something for those of you that don't know me. I have been working with a holistic therapist, and it's something that I've been working with her very much on. So that kind of inspired some of this today. So we're going to jump right in. During the holidays, we spend time with loved ones, family, friends, and the like. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's challenging, and often we go into old patterns that disempower ourselves, even just by accident. We can become upset or mad at a person because they treat us a certain way. Today, we're going to talk all about how to empower yourself, you, us, all of us during these times, things to watch out for, and tips and tricks to help you, both mundane and energetically. First and foremost, the number one thing to help you survive the holidays is your intuition. What is okay and what isn't okay. You decide that, not anybody else. So the first boundary to have is, number one, with yourself. If there's something that somebody is saying or doing to you that makes you uncomfortable, that is the end of the line. That is your say. It doesn't matter if they think if you're being unreasonable. It doesn't matter if they think that you're being ridiculous. It's your call, and I can hear the leaf blower. I'm going to turn on the music. Sorry, guys. I swear to God, this man, it's like he knows when I'm going to film, and he literally, hold on, commercial. Okay, royalty-free music. I don't know if this is any good. Hopefully it is. I just Googled it real quick on YouTube. I swear to God, every time I'm recording, he does leaf blow almost every day, which is frustrating. And it makes it hard to record. So hopefully this will help. Okay. So if somebody says, sorry, this is what happens when I go live and I don't have time, I don't edit. So if somebody says something or does something to you that makes you uncomfortable, then that's the end of the line. That's on them, and you absolutely have a right to say something or to step away. So that's the number one. Like, listen to how you're feeling. End of story. It doesn't matter if somebody thinks you're being ridiculous. If you don't feel good, then you don't feel good. Period. Okay? Now, as you know, as I just mentioned, I've been seeing a therapist, a holistic therapist, which is very different than a regular therapist, because a holistic therapist is somebody who not only is a certified therapist, but they deal with things like spirituality. They work with oracle cards. They work with crystals. They're very open-minded when it comes to things like what I do for a living. So like she's taught me so much, including different crystals that I can use for my energy work, which is really cool. And it's really nice to have one. So I really recommend anybody, if you're struggling or if you just need a person to talk to, find a therapist, because really, like I was kind of like on the fence about it for a long time. And then it's about finding the right one. It really is. Because when you find somebody who is impartial, who's good to listen, who's a good listener, and who validates your feelings, then you feel actually like you're heard and not just like you're crazy. So it's important. But back to boundaries with yourself. We all do things like people please, or allow others to say things to us, or put expectations on us that we are not comfortable with, especially with our families. I'm reading from my notes, by the way, because I wanted to stay focused. And close friends around this time of year, because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I can't tell you how many times I've done this. So most of what I've written up is from personal experience, and don't assume that this is just about my family. It's personal experience from friends. It's personal experience from coworkers. It's across the board. Okay. And it's also things that I've witnessed personally. Now, what I'm talking about here isn't end all be all list of infinity. Okay. There's going to be a lot of experiences that people that are watching or people out in the world have had that I'm not speaking on because I didn't think of it. Please don't think if it's not in this list, it doesn't count. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a mental health practitioner. I'm just talking about what I've witnessed, what I've experienced, and my knowledge. Okay. So I'm not a therapist, and please don't take this as therapy. So often we find ourselves being hurt, bothered, strung out, or resentful, and it's because typically a boundary is needed. We've allowed somebody to cross boundaries and we didn't even know we needed them, or we had them, or something has gone down that we allowed to happen. I know personally that's happened to me over and over in my life, especially in my closest relationships. This includes romantic relationships. So what I did for you guys was I made a list. I organized my thoughts of what triggers could be, kind of what category that's under, and mundane things you can say that are loving boundaries, that are not super attacking, that will allow you to kind of de-escalate and step away. It's only a couple because, again, I'm not a therapist, and it's just a few things that I've learned can work for each situation. Feel free to comment below if there's something that you feel you've used that works that you'd like to add, or if you've had a bad experience that you'd like to share, that you're comfortable sharing. So this category is under privacy. So triggers around privacy. And again, it's not limited to what I've listed for privacy. It's not the only end all be all of privacy. All right. But this is for invasion or overstepping boundaries of privacy. Comments or invasive questions around a person's sexuality and or gender identification, and everything that goes under this broad spectrum, including pronouns, clothing, partners. This list is infinite. Okay. If any of you are in the LGBTQ section, if any of you are some type of alternative, I'm using in air quotes because I'm thinking of like my family. I have a lot of family members who are transgender, who are lesbian, who have come out, and there's been a lot of questions for them that have been good and have been evasive and hurtful. So if any of you are on that spectrum, and I say spectrum because it's a broad range, I see it as a umbrella. There's a lot that can fit under that, right? And I'm not talking about sexuality, but part of it is sexuality. I'm also talking about gender identification. You know, or if you know somebody who is in this umbrella, then you know you don't just fit into one category, and you know that there's a lot of questions. So, and it doesn't just fit into one box, right? So yeah, there's a lot of, especially for the old school people, the baby boomers, the people that were born in a different generation. There's a lot of misunderstandings, misconceptions, and confusion. And it's no offense to them. They just come from a world that they don't understand it, right? So there could be a lot of hurtful things when they're trying to understand, but it comes across not okay. Comments and invasive questions about a person's marital or relationship status or lack thereof. I know me personally, it's been a lot of, when are you going to get married? Are you in a relationship? Who are you with? A lot of my clients that I work with are single or trying to meet somebody, and it's a trigger point. They want to be in a relationship. They want to be settled down, and they go home for the holidays and they dread getting that question. When are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? When are you going to settle down? So those kinds of questions are about privacy. That's a person's business, right? That's their choice. When, or maybe they're struggling and they want to get married and want to get into a relationship, and they've had bad relationship, failed relationship after failed relationship, and it's not their choice. They're not choosing to have failed relationships, but they go home and they get attacked in quotations, by family members because now they've had a failed relationship and they're single again. And somebody is now questioning, and now like they're dreading having to answer these questions. So that's a thing, right? And many of you may know what I'm talking about. Comments and questions about a person's work or career status. Hello, the girl that was a teacher that had a degree and then became a professional tarot card reader, psychic witch. Thank God the majority of my family, and I do mean majority, I'd have to say 98, 99% are understanding and supportive. But I still get the occasional, what is she doing? So yeah, again, that's nobody's business. And in this time and age, a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people are still searching. You're not a failed person because of it, and it's nobody's business. But these are typical conversations that a lot of people make. What are you doing for work? How's work going? Where are you going with that? Who are you with? How's your relationship? It's old school kinds of conversations that were very normal, but can be very easily triggering to people. The next one is any kind of comments about housing or lifestyle. Now that again is a broad spectrum. Housing meaning how many people are you living with? Where are you living? You might not have a place to live right now. You might be bouncing from homeless shelter to homeless shelter. You might be living out of your car. You might be sleeping on a couch with 8 roommates, and that's okay. So talking about that kind of stuff or how you're choosing to live, it's nobody's business, right? Any questions that make you feel uncomfortable about any topic, weight, choice of sobriety, your choice of how you eat, meaning, and I couldn't think of the proper way to say that, to phrase that. So I'm sorry if that's incorrect to anybody. And if you can correct me on that, I don't know. I even Googled it and couldn't find the proper phrasing. The way we choose to eat, our lifestyle of eating. So vegan, vegetarian, dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, all of that, soy-free. Well, how do you phrase that? I couldn't find it. I don't know why. I've gone dairy-free and mostly gluten-free and almost entirely sugar-free. So, but what do you call that? So help me out here, guys. Comment down below if there's a better way to say it, because for some reason I couldn't figure it out. And I thought of another one that I meant to add to this list, and for some reason I didn't. How you choose to parent. Your choice of parenting. I'm not a parent, which is why I forgot to add it. The way that you parent, your parenting style, however you choose to parent. I mean, you can get advice, of course, but attitudes towards your parenting style, whatever you do, however you do, whatever your approach is, it's your choice and your choice only, because you are the parent, right? So just remember that. Any questions? Okay. So I hope that list was a little bit helpful. That was all under the category of privacy. Now here are a few mundane daily life things you can say that are clear boundaries that and they're specific, you'll see what I mean, that are about standing up for yourself or kind of drawing the line like this isn't okay to talk about. So things you can say to privacy comments. I'm not comfortable sharing that information with you. I don't want to talk about it. It's not your business. But that's a way of saying it's not your business without saying it rudely, right? You may not comment on my weight or what I am eating. My family doesn't do that. I'm very thankful for that. Once in a while I'll get, you're sugar-free, or you're dairy-free, or you're gluten-free. Oh my God. But very rarely, very, very rarely. So yeah, nobody comments about like gaining weight or anything. If my partner or I feel disrespected, we will be leaving. That's a good one to use. If there's anything that's done or said, kind of like, hey, just so you know, we're out if anything goes down that isn't okay. I value your opinion, but my life and decisions are up to me. And you could throw that in there with the parenting too. My parenting styles are up to me. I understand your values and beliefs, but please understand I do not share them. And just plain no. So obviously tweak these however you want, but I wanted to give you a few tools to work with for that. The next category is limiting or minimalizing your feelings. So that is something, as a sensitive person, has happened to me pretty much my whole life. And I'll cry over things. I was actually just having a conversation with somebody today about how when a movie, when I was a little girl, happened, I cried and cried and cried. And I think I have a vague memory of being told to get over it. So yeah, comes about, it's not that big of a deal. You're so sensitive. I don't know why you always, etc. Put it under the umbrella of like, I'm sorry, you feel that way. You always make a big deal about things, whatever, right? So anything that makes you feel like they're not hearing your feelings, like if you're trying to express something that bothered you, things to reply to gaslighting, things to reply to this category. Please do not guilt me or use passive-aggressive language to tell me how you feel. My feelings are legitimate. If you don't see that, I'm not staying for this conversation. And please add more if you want down below in the comments if there's stuff that you can think of. There's definitely more. I just didn't want to make this video an hour long. The next one is people-pleasing pressure. So, people-pleasing, highly sensitive, empathic people. If you're one, most of my viewers are people pleasers or were people pleasers. I know I am. I'm having some tea. Sorry, guys. And if you're wondering what I'm drinking, I'm having Yogi. I love the Yogi brand because it's organic. Yogi green tea, green blueberry tea with, I think, a calming tea at the same time. I like to mix them. I mix the flavors. Okay, people pleasing. So I don't know if you guys want me to do a whole video on people pleasing, but that's a therapist topic. It's not really, it is a spiritual topic, but it's not. So people pleasing is basically when you are doing things to make other people, a general definition. This is like, I didn't Google it, so I'm giving you a totally like off the cuff definition. But it's basically when you're doing things to make others happy above and beyond so that nobody gets upset, and you're usually draining yourself. That's the general gist of people pleasing, okay? And a lot of people who are sensitive beings, empaths and the like, will do that from childhood because they don't want to upset anybody. And they will do that to the far extent with family members or friends or siblings or even coworkers. They're the kind of people that take on too much because they don't want to upset anybody. They want to avoid conflict. And it is a challenge to step back and say, whoa, it's draining me and I need to stop. So let's talk about a few little tips. No, let's talk about signs of people pleasing. Signs of people pleasing. The need to take on too much, being asked to do things you are not comfortable with, can look like often you'll say yes, even if you're not comfortable with it, right? Or you don't want to, or you're overwhelmed. It can look like, and this is, again, another list that is not end all be all. Giving money to people that you can't afford to give money to, or you don't want to. Like they really shouldn't be taking that money. You really shouldn't be giving them that money for one reason or another. Maybe it's somebody that never pays you back. Maybe you can't afford to give it to them, but it's somebody that abuses taking money from you, and they never ever, it's not a balanced relationship, right? It's not somebody you want to give money to. It's not somebody you want to take care of. Going to events, you're just not feeling the need to. So maybe saying yes to something you really don't want to go to, but you're guilted into. Helping out or doing things that you feel you're being taken advantage of. That is a huge spectrum. It could be so many things. It could be something as simple as being asked to cook a dinner that you don't want to do. It could be giving people a hand doing something you don't want. It could be a lot. It could be a lot of things. It could be a lot. So I'm not going to throw out that's very vague because it's a lot of things, right? Being guilted into doing something because they are your family or friends. And another one that I saw earlier today somewhere online when I was doing some research for this was it has to do with narcissists, but it does fall under this category is I've done so much for you. Why aren't you doing it for me? It's like they're tallying up. So what can you say to this? What can you say to this to kind of back out of the people pleasing a little bit and put a line there? You can say things like, I'm struggling and can't right now. You can say things like, I can't make it this year. Like if you're being invited to something that you're just not up to or not feeling. I'm only going for an hour. If you're going to an event that you want to make a small brief appearance to, but people are like, come on, just stay. Come on. What are you doing? I need time to think about that. I'll get back to you. Okay. So those are options. Okay. So these are all realistic tips and possible triggers. Again, it's not limited to every situation, scenario because everything is circumstantial and will depend on your personal situation. So now that we've talked about the mundane, we're going to talk more about energy, witchy vibes, and how you can do things energetically for yourself prior to going to things, during and after events. And this can be applied to anything. It doesn't just have to be applied to holiday, but it helps to be reminded. Okay. I do this pretty much every time I have to go to a big thing, not just family thing, but every time I have to do something. I'm freezing. Am I okay now? I think I'm okay now. All right. Oh, crap. Okay. So I need to finish this up. I'm almost done. Once I'm done going over prior to, during, and after, we'll be done. I know this is kind of going long, but I want you guys to be prepared. The holidays can be so stressful. So having tools for how to handle stressful moments with family, with friends, it's so beneficial. And I find it very helpful for me. Okay. So prior to going to an event, prior to going to visiting people, any people, doesn't matter who, friends, family, even if you're going to see a concert or something, if you're going to a holiday party, work party, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? First tip is make sure you're meditating. So if you haven't been meditating, start. If you don't know how, Mel, I don't know how, it's too hard. Download. Oh, I don't have it. I'm going to put it. I have two phones. I have it on my other phone. It's called Amaru, and it walks you through it. It's a cat. It's literally an app. It's a self-care app. It's a cat. I don't get anything out of it. I use the app, and it starts you with literally like 2 minutes, and it builds you up, and it's activities to do. I'll type it in the chat, the comment box, or I'll type it in the description box afterwards so you can find it. It's a free app. I don't know if they have it on Google. No, on iPhone because I have Android, but you can look at that. You can look at Calm. Start working on it. If you have Netflix, there's a guide to meditation headspace on Netflix. Start finding something. Start with 5 minutes a day. Do a guided meditation, okay? Because what meditation will do for you is it will help with your anxiety. It'll help with your inner voice, and be gentle with yourself. Meditation is a practice. It doesn't just happen. You're not suddenly able to do 45 minutes overnight. It's just like exercise. It's something that you gradually build up a stamina to, of being able to relax the mind, of being able to chill out. Okay. Help yourself by working on managing your own self-care routine, grounding, centering, and meditating. And I've already done a grounding video, so check that out. I will link it down below in the description when I'm done here. Bring down your own personal anxiety before going anywhere and reflect on what you really want to do before saying yes. So don't commit to something if you're not sure you want to go to it, because that will increase the anxiety. That will increase the, I don't know if I want to do this. Your energy is going to be all wonky before you even leave if you're not really feeling it, right? So if you're going to commit to something, okay, I got to go to dinner at Auntie's, whatever, tell her I can only come for an hour because I have another thing to go to. Think about it before you say yes. I have to think about it. I have other stuff going on. Let me look at my calendar. I'll get back to you. Bam. And then sit with it and then get back to her. Yes, I can come for 2 hours. Or no, I can't come. Or yes, I can come for the night. Like, whatever your boundary is, check in with yourself before committing to something. So your anxiety isn't up here, it's down here because you decided what you were going to be comfortable with, right? So there's that. And by meditating and grounding daily, then you're going to have like this level. I'm almost seeing it as like spirit's showing it as I'm talking. This is how I channel. I don't know if I've done this before for you guys live. I think I have. When I talk, I channel. And spirit is showing me right now, and I wasn't planning on channeling for you guys, but spirit is showing me, it happens and I don't mean to, it just comes when it comes. Almost like when you take medicine, literal pills, like medication. When you take medication, right? And as you guys know, my mother's a nurse, so I was raised by a nurse. When you take medication, so I take a medication every day for my migraines, and it has to stay at a certain blood level in my blood. If I don't take that pill every day, my blood level of that medication drops, and then I start to get migraines again. If I do take it every day, I'm fine. So and when I first went on it, it took a while before I hit that blood level, right? So that's how I'm seeing meditation and grounding and centering. You need to have a certain level of regularity in your world so you can keep having that flow of energy into yourself. I hope that makes sense. It's really weird that I just saw it like that, but that's how spirit works through me. The second energy tip to do before going to an event is use protection oil and crystals. Okay. So as you can see, I have black tourmaline bracelets. I have a hematite ring. I have shungite earrings. I have a headband on. I have a watch on. I have stuff. I have a hematite necklace on. I may not wear all this. I may wear some of it. I may wear a piece of it. I may tuck this under my shirt so people aren't seeing it, right? Something like that. I may just wear the watch and anoint the watch with the protective oil. I usually will anoint my watch with protection oils, the part that touches my skin. So you can do something minimally depending on where you're going and what you can wear. If you can't wear any of that because maybe you're really, really dressing up, then you can stuff crystals in your bra if you're a female, or somehow, I don't know how guys can stuff it in their underwear. You can figure that out, I think. You can put them in your pockets, because usually guys have pockets. Usually men very rarely wear bottoms that don't have some kind of pocket. So you can, black tourmaline, black crystals are the ones that I highly recommend the most. Protection oils, you can look up recipes or you can buy them from companies. There's all different people you can buy them from that are out there. My favorite, I just bought one from Cardia, a protection oil. I love that, but she does take a while to ship. She takes up to 30 days. So if you want to get something fast, Art of the Root is a good one that I like. I would get the Fiery Wall of Protection, but they have more than that. They have Dragon's Blood. They have a few things. I find that their oils work really well, or you can make your own. Look up a recipe. Just make sure if you're anointing it on your skin, make sure it has properties that are okay to anoint on your skin. You don't want to give yourself any kind of reaction because some oils are not anointable. Some oils are not skin friendly. So just make sure that you're paying attention to that so you don't burn yourself. Be careful with that. Other crystals that are good, smoky quartz, rose quartz. Anything black also. Jet, onyx. I can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head. Okay, number 3, before pulling into whatever location you are arriving at, you can either pull over on the side of the road somewhere if you don't want to look conspicuous, or stay for a few minutes in the car before getting out. Picture yourself with a bubble, kind of like if you've ever seen The Wizard of Oz. If not, don't bother, just put yourself in a bubble, kind of like the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz, and picture yourself in a bubble of light. Call in your guides, call in your ancestors, call in your angels, call in whoever you connect with, your deities, and ask them to shield you. When I first started doing this, I worked with only Archangel Michael, but I branched out to my ancestors and my deities, and it's even stronger than it used to be. So do whatever resonates with you, okay? You can do just an angel. You can do your angels. You can do your guides. You can do your spirits. You can do whoever connects and that is resonating with you. It doesn't matter. Whoever you feel protects you is what's the most important, okay? Ask them to shield you. Do whatever color you want, white, platinum, mirrored, gold, green, blue, whatever your intuition tells you to do is what you should do. And picture it as if the energy bounces off. It can't penetrate. It's a shield. All right. It is bubbling you in a shield of protection for the day. Now, it's not going to stop you from feeling everything. It won't. You're still going to be sad if something happens. You're still going to be somewhat affected, right? It's not a complete cocoon, but it is going to help you be less reactive. It'll help you not absorb other people's energies as much, and it will not let others draw your energy from you as much, okay? And then the last one, if you're comfortable, I suggest you look up veiling. I'm not going to speak on veiling right now. It's too much. It's too big of a topic, but look it up. That's all I'll say around that. You can Google it. You can search it. You can look at other, you can look at Olivia, the Witch of Wonderlust. You can look at the Chaotic Witch Aunt. You can look at other practitioners on YouTube for that. All right. Now we're into during your visit. So now you're there. You've protected yourself as best as you can. Now you're there. Also, if you're comfortable with with having any CBD, the reason why I'm saying CBD and not THC is THC makes you not so clear-headed, where CBD keeps you grounded and clear-headed. Okay. And I will speak about that in a minute, but CBD will help with anxiety, will help with any kind of stress, will help with freaking out. It'll keep you down and centered instead of up here. And I'm not going to recommend what dosage or what kinds or what things, because there's so much and you need to figure out what works for you. If you've never had any CBD, start small, start small. And I mean, they have tea, they have gummies, they have water, they have drops. They have so much out there now. All right. While you're there, you've arrived, you're at whatever said event you had to go to, right? Number 1, stay calm. Stay calm. If things are getting out of hand, if somebody is giving you a hard time, if somebody's triggering you, poking you, saying things to you, doing something, maybe somebody's drunk, maybe somebody's just kind of, poking at your lifestyle or whatever, or putting pressure on you about something and you're not comfortable about it, whatever it is, get out. What do I mean, get out? I mean, go for a walk. Obviously, this all is circumstantial, depending on where you're at, what you're doing, right? Can you even go for a walk? If you can't, step outside for a minute. Be like, oh, I just need to take a phone call. Step outside, pretend you're taking a phone call. If you can't do that, act like you need to rent your car. If you can't do that, go to the bathroom. If you can, open a window and get a breath of fresh air. If not, just take some deep breaths. Ground yourself again. Depending on if you have a full face of makeup, splash some water on your face. Obviously, it depends. Drink lots of water. This will, again, help you stay grounded and flush out any kind of toxins and negativity inside of you. Number 2, do not, and this covers THC, put toxins in your body while you are at this place if you can help it. Now, I know we love to have a glass of alcohol, wine, champagne at these events. And if you're comfortable with doing that, that's fine. The reason why I'm saying don't is because emotional situations do not keep a clear head and prevents us, one, from energetically protecting ourselves. So that bubble that you wrapped yourself in is gone when you get drunk. Gone. And from 2, it heightens our emotions. It makes us way more sensitive. So we misinterpret things, we misunderstand things, we get hurt more. So just be mindful if you choose that route. I'm not saying you can't. It's your life. No judgment. I have a drink too, but only when I know I'm not going to be needing my energy. Number 3, if all else fails and you're really, really floundering, just leave. Go home. Go someplace else. Be done. Get out. Go on. Bye. I gotta go. Just leave. Okay? After the event is recovery. Even if things weren't rough, even if it was smooth, I mean, even more recovery if it was challenging, right? I'm running out of daylight because I'm in a room that doesn't have great lighting. So we're going to wrap this up in about 2 minutes. Even if things weren't rough, even if it went smoothly, if you're a sensitive being, you're likely exhausted. Get to bed and get some rest. Sleep extra the next day if you can. Number 2, journal, meditate, and check in with yourself about how things went. Did you like what you said to people? Did you like how you were treated? Do you have to talk to anybody about some of the things that went down? Reflect on it. Sit with it. What would you do differently? A lot of us have trouble reflecting, and it's important to do that work while it's still fresh in our heads. Release it. Forgive people. Forgive yourself. And move forward. Have the hard conversations right away if they need to be had. And then number 3, take a day to do some additional self-care. Even if you only have 5 or 10 minutes to do it. Take a bath, take a nice hot shower, get a massage, go for a walk, meditate, sleep late, something. Get in touch with what you need because it's important because you probably have drained yourself. So that is the list of boundaries. That is tips and tricks. That is potential things to look out for. That is ways to handle it. Oh, and clear your crystals, depending on what crystals they are. Selenite's good as well. I didn't mention selenite. So depending on what crystals they are, you need to clear those too because they've probably absorbed some energies from people that you don't want to keep in your home. So you want to recharge. You may even want to do some kind of spell to recharge yourself, a healing spell. I hope that helps you guys. Comment down below if you liked this, if this helped you. Give me feedback. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. On Wednesday coming up, I believe I'm going to release, I'm planning, Doreen Virtue Part 1. I was going to record it right after this, but I am out of daylight. It gets so dark so fast here. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's pretty much dark outside. This is what it looks like outside. Like the sun's going down. And I record by daylight here because everything reflects in my glasses. So we're done for the day, guys. Maybe I'll record something tomorrow. My nose is so itchy. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all. Survive your holidays. I'll see you all in the next video. Flip through Friday. It's going to be about a self-care deck. Bye.